In this video, I'm going to share the quote that just radically upended my life. Like once I heard it, I couldn't think about my job, my career the same. And so I say that to just like give you a warning that, hey, by watching this video, your life may also radically change. And so if you're not into that, you might want to just skip ahead to the next video, whatever else YouTube is serving up. But if you are brave and like me, want to be open to, okay, I just want to live the best life that I possibly can, no matter what the consequences are, well, then this video is for you. My name is Nick. I was a pastor for 6 years in a church that I helped start. And honestly, from the time that I was 15 all the way up until I was about 30, my whole dream in life was to be a pastor and to write music and to counsel and care for people. And I was doing it too. I mean, I started early at 24 years old, started pastoring in a church and got opportunities to write for some huge ministries and be part of all of the big conferences and rub shoulders with all of my heroes and pastor alongside of guys that I just had long admired. And so by the time I was 30, I was really living my dream, and the trajectory was up, at least in terms of my career. And then I came across this quote. And sadly, I don't even remember who exactly it was by. I read it in an article. I tried to look up the article, couldn't find it. The quote was this: "Be irreplaceable in the only places you're truly irreplaceable." And at least from this author's perspective, that was as a father and as a husband. And that quote fell on me like a ton of bricks because I read it at a time where my wife and I, our relationship had never been more on the rocks than it was at that point. And we had 3 very young children. Our oldest was 3, our middle daughter was 2, and we had a newborn. Crazy. And at home, things were really hard. Like 3 young kids, no sleep, my wife and I not on the same page. Like it was just the pressure cooker. And I did not like being at home because I felt there like I was an absolute failure. I was a disappointment to her. I didn't know how to help the kids. And so I was kind of putting up the stiff arm to home. And at the same time, I was excelling in my role as a pastor. And I know that that sounds like a crazy thing to say, but like everything that I was doing there felt like it was flourishing. I was having meaningful conversations with members, helping them work through incredible, difficult moments of their lives. I was doing premarital counseling, which is ironic in and of itself that as my marriage is falling apart, I'm doing premarital with other people at the starting line. I was writing music and playing with the band and preaching and doing all of the things that just fired me up and getting pats on the back and recognition. And so, of course, as work felt like, yep, I'm excelling there, and home felt like this place is hard, I leaned in to work. I spent more and more hours in my office meeting with people. And then even when I was home, wasn't really home. I was on my phone texting with members, texting other those on our leadership team about ideas and things that were coming up. My conversations with my wife all had to do with work. And it was coming to a head of where it's like, something's got to give here. And at that point, it looked like the thing that was about to give was my marriage and my family, that I was just going to be that kind of stereotypical workaholic dad, but that my workaholism would be baptized because I was in some sort of a religious profession. And then I came across this quote: "Be irreplaceable in the place where you're truly irreplaceable." And I had to think about it of like, man, as much as I love pastoring, As much as I love providing counsel and caring for the members of our church, as much as I love doing music and writing music and playing with a band, there are many other people that can do those things. And maybe not exactly the same way. In some cases, maybe not as well. In many cases, probably better than I can. But the point is that as a pastor, I was very replaceable. But at home, well, there's nobody else that could be me to my wife. There's nobody else that could be me, dad, to my 3 kids. I just realized I am failing here as a husband. I am failing here as a father. That is not the person that I want to be. I want to be irreplaceable where I'm truly irreplaceable. And I've carried that with me. That led to transition out of pastoral ministry and finding another career, not because some people can't figure it out. Like, surely there are ways to pastor and to also be a good husband and father. But that was such a deeply dug trench for me. I just couldn't separate those roles. It was all too enmeshed. And there's a number of other things that were going on, another story for another time. But I knew that for me to truly level up as father and husband, I needed to leave pastoral ministry. But it's funny because even as I've gone into career in real estate now, I still struggle with the same sort of temptations of getting caught up in my work and making the areas where I'm replaceable the most important areas of my life. Like, there's constantly sort of this competing desire. But I always have to work to keep that desire in place because, yes, I want to do good work. Yes, I want to serve clients and serve my community and build a successful business. But more ultimately than that, I want to be a good husband and father. And I want for the work that I do to ultimately cause me to be a better husband and father, not to detract from my role as husband to Hilly and dad to my 3 kids. So it's a tension that I'm constantly having to wrestle with and having to come back to this reminder of, Nick, be irreplaceable in the place that you truly are irreplaceable. And I say that this is a dangerous message for you to listen to because if you take that seriously, you might recognize that you're doing too much in areas where you are replaceable to the expense of the areas that you are irreplaceable, that you are being taken away from the relationships that mean the most in this life far too often. And if that's the case, and you want to live a good life, I think you're going to have to make serious adjustments because, and this is the way that I was thinking about it, really, like, play it all out. When it comes to your deathbed moments, who are the people that you want around you? And as much as I cared about the people that I was giving pastoral care and counsel to at our church, and as much as I care about the clients that I serve in real estate, the vast majority of them are not really the people that I expect, nor even really want to be with me in my dying breaths. Like, the people that I want there at my side is my wife, my kids. And I need to prioritize all of life that way. I need to have that mindset in everything that I do and show them that they are truly the ones who are the most important to me, not just saying it, but actually showing it in the way that I live, in the way that I spend my time, in the way that I prioritize my calendar and schedule. I want to be irreplaceable as dad and as husband. And whatever that looks like for you, I encourage you to consider the same. Be irreplaceable in the places you are truly irreplaceable.